I have some very disturbing news. Over 90% of this class not only believes that zombies are not real, but you don't know how to kill them either. And I'm telling you, they are real, but they're not what you think. Now, I am a self-renowned expert on zombies. For my creative writing class, I actually wrote a short story on zombies. I'm addicted to zombie games, zombie movies, and I have friends where all we do is talk about zombies. So, I know zombies. Who's affected by this? Well, anyone who likes zombies, and surprisingly, anyone who practices voodoo. Because voodoo has zombies in it. Zombies are real, but again, they're not what you think they are. I'm going to tell you about real zombies, Hollywood zombies, and why they're important and popular in not only our culture, but all around the world as well. Now, the main real zombie would be in voodoo, where they take tetrodotoxin from the pufferfish, and they will administer it to someone, and it will either kill them outright, or it will put them into a coma where they're still alive, still fully conscious. They see everything, they hear everything, they're fully paralyzed. Now, in some cases, it is reported the person can move, can't speak, they can only moan. They can't run, can't jump, they can only shuffle about very slowly. Sounds like a zombie. There's also reported cases where someone has been buried in 1907, and she came back in 1937 claiming to be this dead person, and all of her family thought that she was. She could barely talk, could not run, could not jump, could not do any of the locomotive skills that you and I can do, but she was alive. In medieval times, they would perform lobotomies to relieve pressure, especially for headaches, by drilling a hole in the skull. And when they hit the brain, it would cause basically emotional zombieism, where the person would stop functioning emotionally, they would stop talking. Now, this is all due to loss of brain matter, but it still created a potential zombie. The Draugr of medieval and Norse mythology were fallen warriors who came back from the dead to fight again. Especially for Vikings, this is very important because it's a second chance. You know, if you die a second time in combat valiantly, there's a good chance that you might still get to go to Valhalla after all. Final thing to note is Kuru, which is mad human disease. It was notable in Papua New Guinea, especially for the Fore tribe, where one of their practices was cannibalism. After one of their family members had died, they would eat the body to return it to the earth. And it was most notable in women and children, as the men got the prime choice of the cuts. The women and children ate the rest of the body, specifically the brain, which, as you may know, zombies love brains. And this mad human disease caused degeneration in the brain tissue, lack of communication skills and whatnot. Now, the Hollywood zombies that we're all familiar with, those are entirely different than what I just mentioned. How many of you have heard of Dawn of the Dead? How many of you know that it was made in 1978? Yeah, only 2 of you. That was made by George Romero, and it is one of the most known zombie films of all time. There are 2 types of Hollywood zombies, what I call walkers and runners. Walkers are your classic zombies. Can't climb, can't jump, they just shamble about, moaning for brains, and that's all they do. They can't lunge, nothing. Runners are what you see in movies like 28 Days Later, the sequel, the Dawn of the Dead remake, all the new zombie movies. Those have much more athletic zombies, so to speak. Now, why is this important? Why is it popular? Well, I spoke with a colleague of mine in the zombie field, and he says that the focus of most zombie stories is on the survival effort. It's stories of real people, just like you and me, in everyday places, everyday situations, fighting for their lives against hordes of the undead. This is a very real world that allows the reader or the audience to connect while still allowing their imagination to run wild. The Dawn of the Dead remake was made in 2004, 2006, actually, I don't remember. But it made more than double what the original Dawn of the Dead movie made in the box office. Why would that be so? Well, going back to that, Peter Dendel, a professor here at Mont Alto, wrote for James Conroy's probing question, why are we so fascinated with zombies? And he says, they look like us, they're dressed like us. They look diseased though, unhealthy, contagious, outsiders, and yet they look human. So it still hits home compared to an alien, from the movie Aliens. It's not humanoid. We can't really connect with that, but we can connect with seeing human. So I've talked to you about real zombies, Hollywood zombies, and why they're important. And now you know that if they ever do come, all you gotta do is shoot them in the head. All right? If they do come, don't let the zombie get into your head. Get into their head with a bullet.